The United States is one of the most geographically diverse countries in the world, filled with beautiful places that draw 784 million travelers each year. These places aren't just visually stunning, they offer some of the world's best travel experiences. From the Red Rock Desert of Arches National Park to the volcanic shores of Maui, Hawaii, here are the 10 most beautiful places to visit in the USA. Make sure to subscribe to Discovery Destination for more travel videos like this. 10. Hoh Rainforest. The Hoh Rainforest in Olympic National Park is one of the wettest places in the United States, with constant rain that creates a world of green. The forest feels alive in every direction, with sounds of dripping water and the flow of the river shaping the atmosphere. Your starting point is the Hoh Rainforest Visitor Center. Here, you can learn about the ecosystem through simple exhibits. Once you've had a look around, you can step outside and choose one of several trails that show you the heart of the rainforest. The Hall of Mosses is the trail most people take first. It's a short loop where the path winds under towering maples, with moss hanging from nearly every branch, with each turn showing another part of the old-growth forest. Not far from there, the Spruce Nature Trail gives you another view of the forest. Here, you'll notice fallen logs that have turned into what are called nurse logs, with new trees sprouting directly out of them. If you want to go further, the Hoh River Trail follows the glacier-fed Hoh River. Many people walk only a few miles of this trail, turning back at places like Mineral Creek Falls or 5 Mile Island. By the way, my Travel on a Dime ebook shows you how to travel more for less. I'll share more about it later. 9. Great Smoky Mountains National Park. Great Smoky Mountains National Park stretches across Tennessee and North Carolina, with more than 800 square miles of mountains and forests. The park offers scenic drives, mountain views, and historic sites that keep you exploring. Cades Cove is one of the most popular areas to begin. The wide valley is surrounded by peaks and has a loop road where you can see historic log cabins, barns, and churches that were built by early settlers. From the cove, you can hike the Abrams Falls Trail, which leads to a powerful waterfall that cuts through the woods. From there, Newfound Gap Road connects Tennessee to North Carolina and takes you high through the Smokies. It's the lowest drivable pass across the mountains, but the overlooks make you feel far above everything. The Appalachian Trail also crosses here, so you can walk a short section of this famous path before continuing your drive. At the highest point in the park, Clingman's Dome offers another kind of view. The paved trail to the observation tower is short but steep, and once you reach the top, you stand at the highest point in Tennessee. Another scenic drive is the Roaring Fork Motor Nature Trail. This winding one-way road is lined with forest, streams, and waterfalls. The road is narrow and twisting, but it gives you a closer look at the Smokies. On the North Carolina side, the Oconaluftee Visitor Center is a good place to learn more about the area. Next to it, the Mountain Farm Museum has preserved pioneer buildings like a log cabin, barn, and blacksmith shop. Beyond the busy areas, you can find quieter places like Spruce Flats Falls, located in the Tremont section of the park. This short hike takes you to a 30-foot waterfall that feels more private. Another way to see wide mountain views is on the Foothills Parkway. The overlook here gives you clear views without the lines of cars you may see elsewhere. Elkmont Ghost Town is also worth exploring. Once a logging camp and later a resort community, it's now filled with abandoned houses and structures that are being preserved. Scattered around the Smokies are short trails called quiet walkways. Each one is about a half-mile long and leads you away from the road into peaceful stretches of forest. One of the most unique spots is the House of the Fairies. This small stone spring house was part of the old Voorhuis estate. Its mossy walls and tucked-away location make it one of the most unusual structures in the park. 8. White Sands National Park. White Sands National Park spreads across southern New Mexico, surrounded by the White Sands Missile Range. The Tularosa Basin holds this wide stretch of gypsum sand, and from the moment you arrive, the rolling white dunes stand out against the desert and mountains around them. The best way to start your visit is by taking Dunes Drive. This scenic road carries you 8 miles into the dune field. As you drive deeper, you pass trailheads and overlook where you can pause to take in the open views. One of the most popular activities here is sledding. Racing down the slopes is fun no matter your age, and the bright sand makes the experience unlike anywhere else. If you prefer hiking, the park has several trails that show off both the dunes and the desert life within them. The Interdune Boardwalk is a short and accessible walk that explains how the dunes formed and what plants and animals lived around them. Meanwhile, the Dune Life Nature Trail takes you farther across low sand hills and plants. For a longer challenge, the Alkali Flat Trail stretches 5 miles round trip and leads you into untouched parts of the dune field. Ranger-led programs add more to your experience. The Sunset Stroll is one of the most popular, guiding you through the dunes as the evening light changes the colors of the sand and sky. Now, I know you're getting excited about all these amazing places to visit, but if you're eager to travel the world to explore new locations, cultures, foods, and much more, while taking a breather from your everyday life, you also know it can cost you quite a lot of money. With the Travel on a Dime ebook, you have the opportunity to make the most out of any place you visit without overspending on your travel budget. From finding the right flights and hotel deals to money-saving tips during your trip, it's the perfect guide to help you travel like a pro, ensuring you have a great experience while saving hundreds of dollars on travel. Get your copy at thediscoverydestination.com. That's thediscoverydestination.com. Use code DISCOVER5 to save $5 off your copy. 7. Arches National Park. Arches National Park in southeastern Utah is only a short drive from the town of Moab, making it one of the most accessible parks in the region. With its high desert setting, the park opens up into a series of trails, viewpoints, and formations that keep you moving from one highlight to the next. Most people start with Delicate Arch. It's the symbol of Utah and the most famous landmark in the park. The 3-mile round-trip hike takes effort, with stretches of slick rock and little shade, but standing beneath the arch makes it worth the climb. Once you've taken in Delicate Arch, the next stop many choose is the Windows section. This area is filled with some of the largest arches in the park, like the North Window, South Window, and Turret Arch. Double Arch is nearby as well, standing tall with 2 spans that curve overhead. It takes only a short walk to reach and gives you a chance to look up at one of the most impressive formations in the park. From there, Devil's Garden offers a wider range of trails where arches cluster together in one area. The trail to Landscape Arch is one of the easiest and most popular hikes. The arch itself stretches thin across the sky, making it one of the longest natural arches in the world. If you want more of a challenge, you can continue deeper into Devil's Garden along the Primitive Trail. This route brings you to other formations like Partition Arch, Navajo Arch, and Double O Arch. Each one has its own character, and the further you go, the more rewarding the hike becomes. Balanced Rock is another landmark you'll not miss. It looks almost impossible, with a massive boulder resting on a narrow pedestal. A short loop trail circles its base, giving you different views as you walk around. Closer to the entrance, Park Avenue and Courthouse Towers create a striking scene with their tall stone walls rising on both sides of the canyon. Away from the more crowded spots, Arches has hidden areas that feel different from the main trails, like Fiery Furnace, which is one of the most challenging. It's a ranger-led tour through a maze of narrow passages and sandstone walls. Another remote highlight is Tower Arch, the wide arch tucked away from the busier areas of the park. For something much easier, Sand Dune Arch is only a short walk from the road. The trail leads between tall sandstone fins into a shaded pocket, where the ground is covered with cool sand. Skyline Arch is another formation worth stopping for, set high on a sandstone fin. Since it's part of the Devil's Garden area, many people pass it on their way to bigger hikes. If you're camping in the park, Tapestry Arch is a convenient spot, located just behind Devil's Garden Campground. You can reach it with a short walk from the campground, making it easy to see without needing to drive anywhere. 6. Big Sur. Big Sur stretches along California's central coast. This road is what carries you through the region, bringing you to views and stops that feel different at every turn. One of the first landmarks that often catches your attention is Bigsby Bridge. Built in the 1930s, this tall concrete arch crosses a canyon and frames the coastline behind it. The bridge itself is striking, but the scenery around it makes it one of the most memorable places to stop. A little farther south, Julia Pfeiffer Burns State Park holds one of the most famous sites along the coast. McWay Falls drops more than 80 feet from the cliffs directly onto a hidden beach before meeting the ocean. Continuing along, Pfeiffer Big Sur State Park draws you into a quieter setting beneath redwood trees. Trails like the Buzzard's Roost Trail and the Valley View Overlook guide you through the forest and up to points where you can look across the valley. Moving toward the shoreline again, Pfeiffer Beach offers something very different. The sand carries a purple shade from minerals in the nearby hills, and the rock formations like Arch Rock add to its striking look. At the northern edge of Big Sur, Point Lobos State Natural Reserve is often called the crown jewel of California state parks. Its trails, like the Bird Island Trail, leads you to China Cove, where the water shines a shade of green that stands out against the cliffs. Just beyond this area, Garapata State Park gives you another stretch of rugged coast. The Garapata Bluff Trail is short and easy, but rewards you with wide views of the ocean. In spring, Kala Lily Valley nearby is covered in blooms, turning it into a seasonal highlight. As you continue exploring, you'll also find quieter places tucked away from the main road, like Partington Cove, which is reached by a steep trail that passes through a historic tunnel. The short hike is rewarding, and the view of the calm water feels like a secret stop. If you want to see Big Sur from another angle, Old Coast Road runs inland away from Highway 1. The dirt road winds through valleys and redwood groves before climbing into open hills. In the Ventana Wilderness, Sykes Hot Springs attracts hikers who want a longer adventure. Reaching it means taking on a backpacking trip, but the natural hot pools and nearby campsites make it a favorite destination for multi-day trips. Farther south, Salmon Creek Falls can be easy to pass by if you don't know it's there. A short trail leads to a waterfall tucked between the rocks, making it a simple stop that feels rewarding. Not much farther, Lime Kiln State Park combines natural scenery with a bit of history. Trails lead you to the old lime kilns used in the 1800s, while the beach provides a quiet place where the Big Sur River meets the ocean. 5. Yosemite National Park. Yosemite National Park stretches across more than 700,000 acres in the Sierra Nevada mountains of California. The park is spread between various counties, giving you a wide range of places to explore. Most people begin with Yosemite Valley, a 7-mile canyon that feels like the heart of the park. The Merced River flows through the valley, and on summer days you can rent a raft and float gently downstream, taking in the granite cliffs that rise high above you. As you move through the valley, El Capitan draws your attention. Rising more than 3,000 feet above the ground, this massive wall of granite is one of the most famous climbing destinations in the world. From El Capitan Meadow, you can look through binoculars and spot climbers slowly making their way up the rock face. Half Dome is another formation that defines Yosemite. Its smooth granite face rises nearly 5,000 feet above the valley, and you can admire it from several angles. If you're looking for a serious challenge, the hike to the summit is a demanding but rewarding climb that uses cables to help you up the final stretch. Close by, Yosemite Falls roars down in 3 sections, dropping more than 2,400 feet in total. You can take the short easy trail to the base of the lower falls, where the spray cools the air, or hike the steep path to the top for views that stretch across the valley. South of the valley, the Mariposa Grove of giant sequoias brings you face to face with some of the largest and oldest trees on Earth. Trails weave among towering giants, like the grizzly giant and the fallen monarch, giving you a sense of just how massive these trees are. If you continue up the road, Glacier Point provides one of the most famous views in Yosemite. Driving up to Glacier Point is an experience in itself, with views around every turn. Not far away, Tunnel View offers a different perspective, becoming one of the most photographed spots in the park. Hetch Hetchy Valley offers a quieter experience. The large reservoir is framed by dramatic cliffs, and hiking along the shoreline to Wapama Falls gives you wide open views of the surrounding area. Farther into the high country, Tulumna Meadows opens up into a broad stretch of alpine grasslands. The Tulumna River winds through the meadows with easy trails that follow the water and give you space to enjoy the scenery. Hiking up to Lempert Dome adds another layer, with a climb that rewards you with 360-degree views across the high country. In the Wawona region, Chilnuana Falls provides a less crowded alternative to the major waterfalls. The trail climbs gradually to a tall cascade and a swimming hole, making it a refreshing hike with fewer people on the path. For alpine scenery, Cathedral Lakes makes a great hike. 2 clear lakes sit below granite peaks, reflecting the mountains on their surfaces. Sentinel Dome, reached from Glacier Point Road, is another spot where you can take in views across the valley and the high country. 4. Grand Canyon National Park. Grand Canyon National Park stretches across the northwest corner of Arizona, shaped by the Colorado River. The river cuts through the park and separates it into 2 main areas. The South Rim, open all year, drawing the most attention, and the North Rim, sitting higher up and is much quieter. When you arrive at the South Rim, one of the first places you'll likely see is Mather Point. Wide viewing platforms stretch out from the rim, giving you multiple angles of the canyon below. Not far from there is Yavapai Point, where the views are just as wide but with fewer trees blocking the horizon. The Yavapai Geology Museum, next door, helps you understand how the canyon formed over billions of years. If you continue along the rim, Desert View Drive gives you a scenic stretch with plenty of places to stop. At the end of the drive, the Desert View Watchtower stands tall, Designed by architect Mary Coulter, this stone tower has murals inside that reflect Native American traditions. Hiking is one of the best ways to connect with the canyon. Bright Angel Trail is the most traveled path, passing rest houses and offering partial shade during the mornings and afternoons. The South Kaibab Trail, on the other hand, is shorter and steeper, rewarding you with open views that look especially striking at sunrise. If you want to experience the canyon in a different way, you can take a mule ride. These guided trips go along the rim and even down to Phantom Ranch, a lodge at the canyon floor. Another option is a helicopter tour, where you see the canyon's size from above. On the ground, Grand Canyon Village is worth exploring. It's home to historic places like El Tovar Hotel, Bright Angel Lodge, and the old railroad depot. If you move away from the most popular areas, you'll find quieter spots that feel more personal, like Shoshone Point, which is one of these places. The North Rim offers another way to see the park at a slower pace, making it feel more relaxed. Point Imperial, the highest overlook in the park, gives you a dramatic view of both the canyon and the valleys beyond. Cape Royal is another highlight, especially at sunset, when the light colors the cliffs in soft tones. Some trails provide more seclusion if you're seeking quiet, like the Tonto Trail that gives you long, calm stretches of hiking with steady views. Clear Creek Trail, which branches off Bright Angel. It takes you into less traveled sections where you can spot wildlife and plants that grow only in this environment. At the bottom of the canyon, Phantom Ranch is a rare destination. It's the only place you can stay overnight below the rim. The cabins and dorms are welcoming, and the chance to spend the night here is unlike anywhere else in the park. 3. Maui, Hawaii. Maui is often called the Valley Isle because a low stretch of land connects its two volcanic regions. On one side are the older West Maui Mountains, and on the other is Haleakala, a dormant volcano that shapes much of the island. Together, they create the unique valley that defines Maui and set the stage for the variety of places you can experience across the island. Haleakala National Park is one of the most striking parts of Maui. The summit rises above the clouds, and watching the sunrise here is something that many people plan their trip around. The light spreads across the crater, changing the colors of the sky in a way that feels unforgettable. Haleakala also offers trails that take you into different settings. Hiking inside the crater floor shows you volcanic rock and wide open views, while the PPY Trail on the park's eastern side brings you into a bamboo forest and ends at Waimoku Falls, a 400-foot drop into the valley. From Haleakala, you can make your way toward one of Maui's most famous experiences, the Road to Hana, which provides a winding coastal drive along the northeast side of the island. A key stop is Wainapanapa State Park, where you'll find a black sand beach, freshwater caves, and trails along the coast. Continuing along the route, the Hana Lava Tube adds something unexpected. Formed by flowing lava, the tube is wide and cool, giving you a look at Maui's volcanic past from the inside. Moving offshore, Molokini Crater is another popular highlight. This crescent-shaped crater lies off Maui's coast and is one of the best snorkeling and diving spots in Hawaii. Nearby, Turtletown adds to the experience, where Hawaiian green sea turtles rest and swim along the reef. Watching these large turtles glide by is one of the simple joys of being in Maui's waters. Central Maui is home to I'io Valley State Monument, a place filled with greenery and streams. The I'io Needle, a tall rock formation rising 1,200 feet, stands above the valley and serves as the main feature. Walking paths make it easy to see the views, and the botanical gardens within the park highlight plants from different cultures that have shaped Hawaii over time. In South Maui, La Perouse Bay gives you something more rugged. It sits at the end of the road, where Haleakala's last eruption left a stretch of lava rock along the coast. The Hoapili Trail takes you across the hardened lava, giving you a walk that feels raw and open. Shifting inland, the Ali'ikula Lavender Farm offers a different side of Maui. Located on the slopes of Haleakala, the farm is quiet and cool, with fields of lavender spreading out across the hillside. The farm also holds tours and workshops, making it easy to spend time here learning something new while enjoying the surroundings. South of Wailea, a small path leads to Paco Cove, also called Secret Beach, framed by lava rock walls and palms. The sand stretches toward the ocean, and during sunset, the colors across the water make it one of the most photogenic beaches on the island. If you move to the northwestern slopes of Haleakala, the Makawao Forest Reserve offers yet another change where the air here is cooler and the trails cut through eucalyptus and pine. Here, you can hike the Kahakapau Loop Trail that brings you through shaded forest paths, making it a refreshing break from the heat of the coast. 2. Yellowstone National Park. Yellowstone National Park stretches across nearly 3,500 square miles in Wyoming, with parts reaching into Montana and Idaho. The park sits on top of a volcanic hotspot, which explains the large number of geysers, hot springs, and other thermal features. Old Faithful is the most famous geyser in the park and one of the most recognized in the world. It erupts with steam and boiling water on a regular schedule, and you can watch the display from benches nearby or walk to Observation Point for a higher view. Not far away, the Grand Prismatic Spring is another highlight. This is the largest hot spring in the country, and its wide rings of colors spread from a deep blue center out into orange, yellow, and green edges. Walking along the boardwalk brings you close to the steaming pool, but if you want a broader view, you can hike to the Overlook Trail. The Grand Canyon of the Yellowstone gives you a striking change of scenery. The Yellowstone River carved this canyon, leaving behind golden cliffs and powerful waterfalls. Artist Point is the classic viewpoint, where the lower falls tumble into the canyon below. As you continue through the park, Lamar Valley opens into a wide plain that is often filled with wildlife. Herds of bison move across the grass and elk gather along the riverbanks. With some patience, you might also see bears or wolves moving in the distance. In the northern section of Yellowstone, Mammoth Hot Springs offers something unique. The terraces here are made from white limestone and shaped by hot water that flows over the rock. Boardwalks wind around the formations, bringing you close to the steaming edges and changing colors. While the main attractions draw most of the attention, several smaller places show a quieter side of Yellowstone, like Artist Paint Pots, which is a short trail that leads you to bubbling mud pots and steaming vents. Another hidden route is Blacktail Plateau Drive, a one-way dirt road in the northern part of the park, passing through meadows and forested areas. Close to Mammoth Hot Springs, Sheep Eater Cliff shows another piece of the park's volcanic history. The cliff is made of tall vertical columns formed by old lava flows, and the Gardner River runs nearby. For a longer outing, the Fairy Falls Trail is worth taking. The trail leads to Fairy Falls, where water drops from a tall cliff into a shaded pool. When you want a break from hiking or driving, the Firehole River swimming area gives you a chance to cool off. This section of the river is safe for swimming, and the water is naturally warm, making it both refreshing and comfortable. 1. Glacier National Park. Glacier National Park stretches across the northwest corner of Montana. Once you arrive, the sights and activities keep flowing from one highlight to another. A good starting point is the Going to the Sun Road. This famous drive runs for miles across the Continental Divide and offers wide views of the valleys, mountains, and waterfalls. Along the way, Logan Pass marks the highest point on the road. Here, you can stop at the visitor center and set off on trails such as the Highline Trail or the short walk to Hidden Lake Overlook. As you move toward the western side of the park, Lake McDonald opens up before you. It's the largest lake in the park, known for its clear water and colorful rocks scattered across the bottom. Boat tours give you a way to take in the scenery on the water. Walking along the shore is just as relaxing, and staying at the historic Lake McDonald Lodge places you right by the lake. Not far from Lake McDonald, the Trail of the Cedars gives you a walk through a quiet forest of tall cedar trees. This easy boardwalk loop connects directly to the Avalanche Lake Trail, which is one of the most rewarding hikes in the park. When you cross over to the eastern side, the Many Glacier region offers a new setting where steep mountains rise above valleys, filled with lakes like Swift Current Lake, sitting in front of the Many Glacier Hotel, a historic lodge with wide views across the water. From this area, you can start some of the park's most well-known hikes, like the Trail to Grinnell Glacier, that brings you past waterfalls and clear blue lakes before you reach the glacier itself. Another route is the Iceberg Lake Trail, where ice often floats on the surface, even during summer. In a quieter corner of the park, the Two Medicine area provides a more relaxed pace. Here, you can take a boat tour across Two Medicine Lake, which connects you to trails on the far side of the water. If you're looking for a longer hike, the trail to Cracker Lake is one of the most impressive. The water here is a bright turquoise color created by glacial silt. On the far northwest edge of the park, the North Fork region leads you to Bauman Lake and Kintla Lake. The waters here are calm, the surroundings are quiet, making it one of the most remote experiences in the park. For a challenge, the Dawson-Pitamacan Loop is a hike that stands out. This is a long route that takes you high into the mountains and across ridges with views that stretch in every direction. If you're looking for any tips to enhance your own personal travel and help you manage your travel budget more effectively, click the link in the description. And remember to like and subscribe to help our channel grow.